So the title for this video is slightly incorrect. I've already built a couple of computers and flipped them to make profit, but I'm still decently new to flipping them. I've only flipped like 3 of them, so I'm still gonna like keep it as part 1. The point of this series is to just kind of market my journey and have fun whilst I'm doing it. Learn a little bit of editing. Like part is I'm about to sell this computer tomorrow for $650, and that took a little bit to sell, like a week and some. So I started getting in the process of building another computer whilst that sold, and I realized I had quite a few parts that had been sitting around from previous builds that like this RAM that I switched out for 32 gigabytes of DDR4, this GTX 1080, some storage, and I thought I could make a computer out of that. So I've been having some parts arrived, and I've got most of them today. All of our parts for the build, so a case, RAM, graphics card, thermal paste, which actually came with this for free, storage, case with DIY Cubo 1 Black Edition with no fans, fans for that case, and a brand spanking new power supply, which I'm quite happy with. Crap, manual fell out. And tomorrow I'm going to get the motherboard and the CPU cooler, and we can build it. Should be fun. I just took the case out of the box. Had a bit of styrofoam. It was kind of hard to get out. Like that's a lot of styrofoam. Now, I was thinking that the 1080 wouldn't fit, but I think we can fit it. Yeah, we should be able to fit that. I don't think I'm going to use all 5 of the fans I got from that fan package. I think I'm going to only use 3 of them. Either way, it's a bit of a smaller case than I intended, but I think it'll do well. A little bit of a background on all of our parts. Our motherboard is the Asus Prime B450M. I got it on eBay for about $80 open box, so it hasn't been used, or if it has been used, it's just to test it. And our CPU is the Ryzen 5 3600, which I got on Facebook Marketplace for $50, and he threw in a thing of thermal paste, which we will see later in the series. And for our RAM, it is 16 gigabytes of 3600 speed Team Group DDR4 RAM that I switched out for 32 gigabytes because I went in a higher end direction for that computer. And our storage is 1 terabyte Crucial NVMe PCIe 4.0, but our motherboard is PCIe 3.0, I believe. And the air cooler, my phone cut off before we got to see the air cooler, so we did not get to see me installing the air cooler. And the case is, obviously, you saw the case. It's a micro ATX case that I got. I decided to go in the direction of installing the fans myself instead of them being pre-installed. So this case is the micro ATX Cubo 1 that doesn't have any fans installed. And the fans are just like some kind of brand I haven't heard of that were selling 5 fans for $35 on Amazon. So kind of a bit of a no-brainer there, even though it wasn't a company I heard of. It had decent reviews. And then obviously our power supply is a brand new Thermaltake 600 watt which I'm not used to brand new power supplies. I'm used to like used ones. Our graphics card is a GTX MSI Duke 1080 overclocked version. And the cool thing about this one is I got it on Facebook Marketplace a few months back for $75, which is quite cheap for a 1080. And the guy seemed like really nice, and I tested it, and it first worked, and then when I tested it in like games, it would crash. After a bit of troubleshooting, I figured out it was an overheating problem. So I repasted it, and now it works fine. Maybe he didn't know that it was broken, or that's why he was selling it for so cheap, because it didn't work. I don't know. I set up a little ARGB hub that those fans came with, and that's the background of all these parts. Thank you. Okay, we're about to turn on the power cable and see if this thing works. That's I4 on, yep. We're gonna turn off our light for dramatic effect. I am slightly worried. I do think we're plugged into HDMI 2, though. Hey. Woo! Let's go! Total memory showing up. 3600 B450A. Yeah, that's looking good. Yeah, correct. We've got an orange light right there. I don't exactly like that. I'm gonna press F1 here. And there we go. We're into the BIOS. That GPU clip is broken. But it has to have worked because the Ryzen 5 3600 doesn't come with onboard graphics. So that graphics card has to be working. I'll do a little bit more research. I still think the build looks pretty good though. Hey, update, that orange light is just to show that it's getting power, because it also means that that prime. God, the glare on this camera with these fans is horrible. I still have these extra 2 fans that I didn't get to using because they didn't seem proportional to me to put them in. Because unless I would do like one up here, one down here, which didn't look that good personally, I wouldn't be able to keep the exhaust and intake rate real nice. Because these are set to intake, in, sucked out. Seems like it's going to work pretty well. I am going to try to find a way to change that orange to, like, well, I'm sure there's something I can download. I'll download some software. There's got to be some way to change that. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool looking. I am not going to buy this case again. I did not like the case, I will say that. I'm not a fan of it. It wasn't that work friendly. I like DIY PC. Everything I've like made has come from them. They're a good company in my opinion. Make good cases, but this one, to some people it may work. For me, I didn't like it. And I did like putting the fans in myself, but I put them in after I installed the motherboard. Should have done it the other way around looking back, but it was my first time doing it where they weren't already pre-installed. So, now that the build is done, we can finally get to downloading Windows. For Windows, I've always had this one key here that I've always reused. I've never actually changed. Let me turn this light on. It's always worked for me. I suppose some people say to switch USBs or re-download it every time. I don't do that. And let Windows do its thing. Hey, Westerner, just wanted to tell you that as these videos go on, I'll obviously get more stuff. Like, I might get music later on in the series. I might get an actual, like, goal and title in the later series. Because right now it's kind of just flipping PCs part 1, you know? Uh, kind of like upgrades like that. If all goes well, I might make, like, other content about computers. Because I find it extremely enjoyable to build them and do stuff with them, personally. So I got into Windows. Unfortunately, I can't really do anything until I get a Wi-Fi adapter, or unless I have to take it downstairs and plug it into Ethernet. But that's kind of like, obviously the family's computer's hooked up, and that would take a lot of cable unplugging and replugging. We don't want to do that if we don't have to. But I think a Wi-Fi adapter I ordered should be here tomorrow, so we'll get to work tomorrow. Running Fortnite on medium mode, we're getting a pretty decent roughly like 150 to 140 FPS in battle, in combat. Pretty happy with that. Make sure to include that in-game benchmark. Finally, for listing it, I'm going to put it in for $450 on Facebook Marketplace and eBay and a few other sites for this computer because I built it for like $300, and I feel that like 250 is a or 450 is a fair price, and I think it'll sell decently fast. And this is kind of just meant to be a quick little flip build whilst another computer was being sold. So if I can make $150 off it, I'm quite happy with that. Chewy, tell the audience that this is it for this episode, and that we'll see them next episode.